My name is Wolf, and my mission is. Have you ever felt like the life that you were living wasn't really yours? Like you were alive, but you weren't really living? Like someone walked up to you, handed you a script, and said, "Hey, if you follow this script, life's gonna be dope." And so you start looking at it. Go to school, get good grades, get a good job. You start making money, find yourself someone to marry, maybe have some kids, a dog, a beautiful house with a white picket fence. Insert, if you do this thing, life will be great. And so you do it. And for some reason, as you check off these boxes, you still feel unfulfilled, unhappy. There's parts of you that are saying, is this it? Is this all there is? If you said yes, I can relate. I was the perfect student, graduating with honors, working a bunch of jobs to try and make sure that I graduated debt free, having friends, family, maintaining relationships, working hard, doing all of the things that from the outside, it looked as though my life was great. And yet on the inside, how I felt was completely the opposite. In fact, following this script led me to a lot of not great shit, to be honest. I was constantly anxious. I found myself in a very deep hole of depression to the point where it was really difficult to get out of bed a lot of days. And I did everything I could to, because of the pain, to pull myself away. I even started moving all of my in-person college classes to online because it was how I could just be by myself. And yet the entire time, nobody really knew what I was going through. Friends, family, no one. And a large part of that is just because I didn't tell anybody, but also I did a really good job of hiding it. And so I rode this wave, being in it for what felt like to me at that time like an eternity. Waking up and struggling, hoping and wishing that there would come a day and a time where I could just be happy and at peace with where I was. Now, thankfully, as the story goes, that did change. And it changed when I started to realize that the question that I was knowingly or unknowingly, mostly unknowingly, seeking an answer to was, what can I do in order to make other people happy? What thing do I need to check? Oh, if I go and get a degree, my family will be happy. I'll be the first in my family, and I was, to go and get a degree. That'll make them happy. Okay, I'll do that. But what about, I will actually hide who I truly am as an authentic expression, as an authentic being. I will hide and pull back the parts of me that I'm most afraid of or most shameful of or guilty of, because if people knew about these parts, there's no way that I could ever be loved. I will spend the rest of my life alone. These are thoughts that would they would dominate my psyche. They would dominate my human experience. Thankfully, I started to surround myself and put myself in environments where I started to realize that this question that was determining what actions I was going to take, and thusly would create the experience that I was having internally on a regular basis, I started to ask different questions. Because in that, what I realized was I was alive, but I didn't feel alive. I felt very numb. I felt very numb to my human experience, and things that would normally bring up emotions or sadness or grief or even joy felt muted. It was as if there was this high volume thing, like I'm listening to music, but for some reason it's turned all the way down. And so when I realized that answering this question this way led me to this place of not being happy, unfulfilled, etc., I started to ask different questions. And more specifically, everything changed when I started to connect to this idea that was first introduced to me from a book called The 5 Regrets of the Dying. Hello, alarm. You're a part of our thing today. Wow, talk about when everything is trying to throw itself out of whack. My alarm goes off. The standing desk starts changing its height. Let's fix this. Part of the journey. Taking you on the imperfect journey, because I've tried to do the perfect journey and script everything and edit this, and I've been stuck on creating this for weeks. It's probably been months. And so this is what it looks like to do the work real time. I'm going to say, fuck it. I'm going to send it and do my best to lead from my heart. Bronnie Ware wrote a book called The 5 Regrets of the Dying. In this book, the number one listed regret of the dying was that I wish I'd had the courage to live a life that was true to me and not the life that others expected of me. Take that one in for a second. A life that was true to who I am and not what my mom, what my friends, what society, what college, or anyone else told me I was supposed to do, but what my internal guidance was pulling me towards all of this time. The track that I was taking was to the deathbed where I would have wished, damn, I wish I had done this differently. I wish I had done life differently. I wish I could hit redo, because that version of me then, struggling to get out of bed, also didn't want to be alive. Candidly, like I was in that place. And so then when this idea was proposed to me, I started to ask different questions. And the primary question that I started asking myself in some shape or form was, what if I were to live a life that was true to myself? What if I were to choose to live a life that lit me the fuck up? Instead of trying to do what I think that others want me to do to make them happy, what if I did the thing that would have me be, and these aren't the words that I had then, but it's the words I have now, the type of vibrational resonance that the experiences that I wanted to have, the types of friends that I wanted to have, the type of community that I wanted to build, that I would be surrounded by people who were reflections of the authentic version within me. That's a different thought experiment. So I did what I've come to learn, although didn't know then, is I started to fuck around and find out. And so I played that game. I played that game in my money and my finances. I played it in my sexuality and my eroticism. I played it in my relationships, both from romantic to my personal relationships and my friends. I played it in the context of my work and my business. I played this game in all aspects of my life. And although my life is not perfect, and I still have my challenges, and I still get beat up, and I still have those days where it's tough, where I feel anxious, where I don't feel like doing anything, where I don't want to come to the camera and to the microphone and record this thing. Because resistance and life and challenges and politics and the world state, all those things want to weigh me down. And yet here I am, and I can honestly say that my life has never been better. All aspects, my life has never been better. When I started to see these transformations, my money working for me, being surrounded by friends and people who light me the fuck up, who are a reflection back to me, where I am excited to be in relationship with them, I can share the deepest, the deepest, darkest, the parts that I thought were shameful and guilty, no one would love. Holy shit. There are people in this world who will love me as I am. There are people in this world who will celebrate me as I am. What the fuck? No one taught me about this. And so I kept playing this game, and it has continued to be a really great game. And eventually, it began to completely shape and morph the trajectory for the type of work that I wanted to do in this life. The Dharma. Some people will say Dharma. The thing that try as I may, and I have tried, even with this video, that I tried to run away from because of my fears, my insecurities, because of my, will anybody actually listen to this? Will anybody actually want this? My imposter syndromes? Despite what those voices may say, here I am saying yes to myself. What would it look like for me to have a full fuck yes in my business and in my career? Or more importantly, if there was going to be a measure for my life success, how would I know what that would be? And so I did a thought experiment inspired by Gary Vaynerchuk. Thank you, Gary Vaynerchuk. If I had transitioned and I was a fly in the room at my own funeral, what would I want people to say about me? If there was one thing that I wanted people to say about me when I was passed, when I'm gone, what would I want them to say? And the answer to that question was that Wolf had me feel safe to be who I fully am. Every single part of me was loved when I was in his presence. And that's how this mission came to be. My name is Wolf, and my mission is permission. It's to be the space, but more importantly, to create the spaces where we can remember and we can learn how to be that safe space for ourselves and for the people in our life. Because my belief and my hypothesis is when we feel and give ourselves the permission to be the fullness of who we are, we begin to remember who we truly are at the core of our being. And we begin to realize the world, our lives, to create friendships, to create businesses. We get to create things in the world that are a reflection of who we are at our core, not who we thought or we were taught that we needed to be. And so that's why I created this channel. That's why I am creating a community, is because I want to be able to share resources that have supported me along my journey, the 10 plus years of personal development and tens of thousands of hours exploring all kinds of topics from mental health, psychology, neuroscience, biohacking, money and finances, wealth building, relationships, communication, leadership, all the different things where I've had so many mentors and books and people pour into me that have helped me to be able to stand and also stand in this moment and do my best to share from my heart and from an authentic place and say, all of these tools have helped me immeasurably. And the singular thing that feels more important to me than even those resources is to have a place where there are people where we are fucking vibing, where we are resonating and we're able to see and hold each other in all of it. And whatever life is going to bring to us, we meet and we love and we connect in all of it. And so that's why we created the community Remembrance Dojo. I love the name. It's just so fun for me. It's like a dojo. I imagine like Matrix. You ever saw The Matrix? If you haven't seen The Matrix, one of the greatest movies of all time, you got to go check it out. But there's a dojo, and Neo is like remembering how to like karate chop and shit, right? Whatever he's doing. Kung Fu, right? I know Kung Fu. Alarms, leave me alone. Thank you. Later. It's the dojo, the place for training of remembrance, to remember who we are and who we came here to be. And the space, the community, is where we get to practice being who we are authentically and to be met in that. And so whether you are someone who is wanting to follow along in this journey through the YouTube channel, you can do that. But if you really want to go deep and you want to be a part of something where all of you will be met, all of you, all of it. This is that space. So if that is something you're into, come join me, come join us. The link is right below in the description. And whether or not you come and join in that now or later, I would love to hear your thoughts, to hear your feedbacks, what you relate and resonate with, or even what you disagree with in the comments, because I want to create genuine conversation. I'm over another 10 steps to get to this place guide that I go and do by myself. And cheesy, not full-hearted connections in the comments are just a quick slap of an emoji. I want to connect with you, however that looks. And so I thank you so much for your time. I thank you so much for your energy. And I look forward to remembering alongside you. Peace, love, and weirdness. See you in the next one. Have you ever felt like the life you were living? Whoa, I just hardcore spit. I hope that didn't get on the camera. There's like spit somewhere, spit shining. My goodness, it's a video. This is crazy. That was pretty good. That was pretty good.